everyone, I'm the Vacuuminator.
I'm Buster.
And this week in Toku, we're going to be discussing new Shout releases, Geats movie news, and a rigged election. But before all that...
count.
Buster, how are you stopping the count?
I'm stopping it pretty well. I did have an editing error today, but hey, I got a new video out. One that has a very interesting history into its inception, but we'll get later.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Mr. Vac? I heard things aren't going too well in the house of...
In the house of the Huminator?
Yeah, House of Huminator.
Oh man, yeah, today's been a bit of a shit show, because it's the first day of finals week at the college I work at.
Yeah.
And I actually overslept. I had turned off my secondary alarm on Friday night, because I wanted to sleep in on Saturday, and I forgot to turn it back on Sunday. So I woke up with my first. Usually, what I do is I will wake up with my first alarm, go to the bathroom, and then get like another 20 minutes of sleep before the second alarm goes off. And today, the first alarm went off, and I didn't need to go to the bathroom, so I just turned it off and went right back to sleep. And when I next lifted my head, for reference, I'm supposed to be up between 8 and 8:30. When I next lifted my head, it was 10 o'clock. And I'm supposed to be to work at 10:30, so I immediately sat up and texted my boss, "Hey, I'm gonna be late."
Yikes.
Yeah, so my whole schedule was thrown off, and everybody else was pretty stressed out at work because today is the last day of classes, and the final exams begin tomorrow. So there's a lot of teachers running around being like, "I need to cram all the knowledge in the kid's head today," and I had to clean up after that.
Clean up after the knowledge they were spilling.
They're just carrying these buckets of knowledge, and it's spilling all over the floor.
Yeah.
But yeah. And that's why you should give this video a like. You should comment down below. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to notifications.
You're also glitching out. I can barely hear what this guy's.
What the fuck?
Okay, now it's clearer. But like during that whole spiel, it was just being like
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking. My internet just had a hiccup. What the fuck?
It happens. Discord be done.
But this is like the second. Okay, I guess I can go into this real quick. For those of you who don't know, we had major technical issues with No Prize last night, and we had to scrub the whole episode. And I thought it was all on Boingo's end, but apparently my internet is having issues too, so that's lovely. Let's hope it doesn't crop up again for the rest of the episode. But fucking support Modular Media. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and join the subreddit.
Yeah. Now let's get into the news.
Yes, now for the news. First up this week, just announced today, a bunch of new Godzilla hoodies are coming out from Bandai, and once again, Jaguar has the best design.
Yeah, you really do be like the freaking marketing at. Wait, didn't we cover these already? I remember seeing that logo. Maybe that's just the logo they're using.
No, there were similar looking. I think it was their t-shirts or sweatshirts last week, but these are different designs than hoodies. So it's just it's announcing winter merch, and it all looks fairly similar. I will say I like the Mothra Batra shirt though. That's probably my second favorite. Anyway, would you like Godzilla plushies?
Maybe later.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they look kind of cute. I like the keychain ones I could take or leave, but I do like the standalone kind of legendary looking one.
Yeah. I mean, I just like all of these merch are Japan only. I got no.
Yeah, you got to go for a middleman for this shit. Spiral Studios also teased a new Godzilla statue this week, which looks to be just a paint variant of their recent legendary Godzilla statue. This time as like a burning version. If you're into that shit, that's cool. But
is there even a burning Godzilla in that movie?
I don't think so. It's one of those things where like toy manufacturers like to do weird, crazy variants, like how Mattel used to always do like flamethrower Batman and shit. Yeah. That's what this is. But hey, let's talk about something kind of odd and obscure, which is that there's going to be a new freaking statue of Gorgo. Buster, do you even know what Gorgo is?
No, but he looks cool.
Gorgo is kind of sort of one of the first American kaiju movies. He's from the early 1960s. It was a joint American and British film production. I've never actually seen the movie myself, but I've seen the design before, and I know kind of the basics of how the movie works. And like you could kind of count 50s B movies with giant spiders and shit as American kaiju movies, but I think kaiju as a genre didn't really exist until Godzilla 1950s. So Gorgo is like one of the first Western kaiju projects, and he certainly looks like a Western design of that era. But it's cool that like something that's relatively obscure can still be getting new merch of this magnitude, because this is like a high-end statue.
Yeah, they're making a sequel graphic novel. Apparently they're looking into a new animated.
All kinds of Gorgo shit coming soon. Get excited! Get hyped for the Gorgo. Get hyped for the Gorgo cinematic universe.
Yeah, I'll cover it if it exists.
That should be the freaking tagline of your channel. That should be on your banner.
Yeah, maybe later. I already kind of had. It took a while to come up with the tagline I have now.
Yeah. Let's talk about a less obscure kaiju though, because there's going to be a new MonsterArts Gamera. Specifically, I think this is Heisei Gamera, and it's going to be the Kyoto Decisive Battle version. A mostly new sculpt with some option parts. Specifically to a battle that took place in Kyoto in one of those movies. Forgive me, I haven't seen those movies in a while. And it's coming out in June of next year for only $88, which is actually really cheap for a MonsterArts.
Yeah, this looks good. Looks really good.
I like the sculpting here. The articulation looks pretty good, assuming the quality is better than I know MonsterArts to generally be. MonsterArts can kind of be fragile, but they're high-end collector merch, so you can't get too mad at them for that. But this thing looks great, so hopefully it turns out great. I'll probably check out a couple reviews of it when it eventually drops. Anything else to say on that?
Nope.
All right, let's move on to Ultraman news. Hey, you want some sweaters?
Not these ones, because I'm not feeling.
Yeah, these look like Walmart Ultraman merch. This looks like the fucking Superman shirts you'd find at like the $10 rack at Walmart.
Not to mention a lot of these, like the freaking Ultraman on it. I get Decker and Trigger, but why does Decker look overwhelmingly blue? Is this like dynamic form? Is this Dynus? I don't know what's going on with that render.
I can't tell what design that's
And
meant
it's
to be.
like,
No, that's clearly Flash type. That's Flash type and multi-type right there.
Why not his base type? That's weird.
Flash type is Decker's base type.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were talking about the speed form he has.
No, his speed form is Miracle type.
Yeah, it just looks like.
How do I know this and you don't?
It just looks overwhelmingly blue to me. And then like this.
Yeah,
Ultraman,
it's a weird filter too.
Yeah, this Ultraman logo one, the Rube brothers being together is nice, but why is Geed and Taiga just freaking smacking there? Like,
did those shows happen around the same time?
I guess they were, but they're not in the order. It went from Geed, Rube to Taiga, and even then, Taiga has 2 other Ultraman to include on the shirt.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know, it just feels like very thrown together. Just be like, oh, we need something to sell in the store. Just like that.
It's new merch day. Dave, did you finish the new merch? What? I've been playing Galaga all week.
Huh.
That's a conversation that clearly happened in the Ultraman localization offices. It's canon now.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk about Figuarts. We saw early photos of this at Tamashii Nations, but now there's official, nice, pretty photography of SH Figuarts Absolute Tartarus, who is coming out in May.
This just makes sense. He's appeared in a couple Ultra shows. He's basically the like main villain of the Ultra Galaxy Fight series. You know, just makes sense he gets a figure art. And it's a cool design.
He's got a good ass design.
Yeah, very good. And like I do like his character, what little we've seen. Even if it's
I love that he's coming with a portal effect. That's so great.
Yeah, because all the Absolutians just open portals all over the place, so why not?
And I mean, like, that's a great way to sell this to people who aren't even into Ultraman. Hey, you need a portal effect for figure photography? Here, buy this cool-ass looking alien giant muscle man.
Well, it's gonna be like Japan. You have to go through a middleman to get it, so maybe it's not as easy as it sounds to make it out to be.
Yeah. Well, You know, Shin Ultraman news. They announced that they're going to be doing a DX version of the beta capsule from that show, along with the fucking Science Patrol badge from that series. It'll come as a little packet that you can clip on and go to school looking like a special boy.
Yeah.
I think this is neat. I think it is priced fairly appropriately because Toku Lectables has it at $42. That is just about as much as I would be willing to pay for something like this, though.
Yeah,
That's pushing
same.
it.
Yeah, same. This is a good price for a pretty solid toy.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you look at this thing, it looks like it's pretty accurate. It's about the right size, but it has one button and it's probably only going to make one sound.
Yeah, maybe a couple more.
Be funny to put this in like somebody's Doctor Who Sonic Screwdriver collection and see how long it takes them to notice, though.
Yeah, good point. It does kind of look like a Tartar like screwdriver.
Yeah. But that is not the only Shin Ultraman news we have this week because Alien Mefilas is also getting a Figuarts soon. There is not an exact release date except for pre-orders will be happening in late December, and it's a Tamashii web exclusive.
Unfortunately, that makes.
It is beautiful though.
Yeah, like all the designs from that movie are beautiful, and I think this is the last like major regular figure we need. I don't really see how you can make a figure of like the final boss black hole laser. So
yeah. I really want to see. I'm excited to see figure photography of this thing. I don't think I'm gonna get it myself, but I want to see somebody like D Amazing put this in some crazy dynamic poses.
Yeah, and like they showed this off at Tamashii Nations, and I love the display they had it with like they recreated Mefilas versus Ultraman from that movie with Zafi looking on. That was like that was one of the hype moments in that movie where like Mefilas just runs away because of Zafi. So it was nice to see them recreate that for him.
By the way, I did check today. There will be a showing for Shin Ultraman at my local theater, so I'll probably be going to see it unless money gets really fucked in January.
Yeah. I'm considering it. I'm not sure. I'm still deciding on sub or dub. Maybe I'll do both days if I freaking get crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I want to do sub because I can never stand dubs these days.
Yeah.
But also, like, I'm gonna be in a theater, so so it's not like I'll have anything to distract me. I can just sit there and read the subs properly the whole time. I don't have to force myself to focus.
Yeah, I'll probably. I'm leaning towards dub just to have a new experience because I already saw the sub twice, once in theater. So I'm like, well, we'll see. That's future Buster's problem.
That's Buster who has money problem.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into Kamen Rider news. Oh, I almost forgot. There is a new Ultra Connection stream coming in just next week, actually. Or no, this is 2 weeks from now. I'm all screwed up today. But no, it is next week. It's next Friday, the 16th of December at 8 p.m. EST. Ultraman Connection Live Holiday Special 2022. Going to be a whole bunch of cast people and Shawn Nichols there interviewing them and just shenanigans. I don't think they've said there's going to be like a big announcement or anything coming out of this. It's just going to be a fun time with some of your favorite Ultra production people from recent years, like fucking Haruki's actor is going to be there because he always comes in for these. Ultraman Ace's actor is going to be there because they're celebrating a anniversary for Ace that is this year. A couple people from the Ultraman anime and a director from Zet and Decker will be there.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what he's gonna say because those are just well-directed shows with a lot of really good. I want to see what does he have to say on like making those episodes that he directed.
It should be interesting. Hopefully, I can find time to watch it. I don't think I'll be able to watch it live, but I'm sure there will be a VOD, and I'll probably find time to watch that on Saturday or Sunday of that week. I don't know. This is probably going to be the busiest December of my life. I'm not going to lie. I've already got a ton of shit going on.
Yeah, I'll send you the cute clips from it. I'll find the cute Twitter clips.
Way, I appreciate you.
Yeah. I might. Don't count on it.
I'm gonna come knocking on your door Sunday night like, Buster, where are those stream clips? I need to watch those for the show.
Yeah, it'd be like, I don't know. I don't think there was anything there. Oh, whatever.
Let's move into Kamen Rider news, shall we?
Yeah, Kamen Rider Shika is gonna be in the Geats movie. He's a new Geats Rider with a bunch of fancy belts. That's probably gonna be premium Bandai, and he's played by people.
And it's probably going to get reused in the show somehow. There's another guy who's obviously a comedian and is going to be like a villain in the movie because he's dressed like a fancy annoying fuck. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. It's just like you know how this goes. You know how this.
Kamen Rider Seeker is how the translation here is romanized it, but I think the official romanization is Shika. Yeah. He's going to be played by Kashishin Goro?
Google his name.
Yeah, you figure out how to pronounce that for me. And also, the other character is the mysterious Game Master Koraz.
So there's going to be like a Game Master above the Game Master for this movie? Oh, God.
It's probably like a special specific game that involves the Ryuki and Revice riders.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, my excitement for this movie has kind of dropped a lot because of the potential of the Ryuki riders being just random dudes. And just
because we haven't heard anything about those face actors coming back, and I'm getting real nervous.
Yeah. Then again, they didn't reveal that Deno was in the Heisei Forever movie until the last minute. Maybe they're just doing another last minute. Hey, he's in the movie. If you go, you'll be surprised if they're in the movie face acting. If you go Thursday night,
they're gonna power down for one scene to talk to Geats, and that'll be it.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind that if their schedules are tight. Like one well written scene, like in Heisei Forever with Ryotaro, will be good. You know.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling about Shika's design, by the way?
It is certainly a movie writer design. It's a good design. I just don't feel like it matches well with the current. Yeah,
he looks. I've seen people say this, and I don't necessarily disagree with it. He kind of looks like a rejected build suit.
Yeah, he feels like the build movie writer when that show for this is the movie writer people imagined when Build first got announced.
Mm-hmm, but instead we got the fucking Kaisers.
Yeah, I mean the Kaisers are neat, but also
yeah. Also, there's gonna be monster mashes named Mr. Valadero and Mr. Izanagi.
They're probably gonna be on the Revice side.
Yeah, they're gonna get their shit wrecked and be there for one scene.
Yeah. Or a couple to just be scheming with Shika or something.
Yeah, they're literally called the two mysterious unidentified life forms that suddenly attack the Igarashi family.
Yeah, they're basically. Although what actually has me more excited about movie, they've made Over Demons a good suit.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal a joke from my own Twitter. My man went from very berry to creamsicle, and it looks great.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are complaining about this suit. Screw you. The color balance is actually works because
I love the giant fucking staghorn.
Yeah, it's great. I could take or leave it, but I just really happy the color balance balanced this time around. It's not just why is there random stretches of orange? It's there's an orange armor around it. It feels much more natural, even if it's still very kit bash.
Yeah, it's as good as you're gonna get with a suit like this, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, we found out this year's movie presento. It's a fucking Penlight. Moving on.
What else have I got? Over with Crayon Chan. I don't think this has happened since the Forza day.
I don't know a whole lot about Crayon Shin-chan except that it's a very popular, very long-running kids show in Japan. But apparently there's going to be a little special that's going to air both before an episode of Shin-chan and before an episode of Geats.
Yeah,
so
it seems like it's going to go
maybe that'll be interesting. Maybe that'll get subbed. Maybe we'll have to watch it and I'll have to go, I kind of understand it, but I don't know anything about Shin-chan, so
it seems like with the past shows, previous writers, it seems like they're gonna recap the history of up to the.
We're gonna find out Geats has secretly been a Kamen Rider expert this whole time, and then he's never gonna bring it up in the actual show.
Yeah, or just the freaking Waz will just show up out of nowhere saying, "Hey guys, let me help you out."
Great, he goes actor back for that, and don't do anything with him beyond it. Yeah. But no, it'll probably be good. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll probably be cute.
But we do have some Geats merch news. They announced a whole bunch of new premium Bandai shirts, an entire line that is just the ID core symbols, and I have a mighty need for these. These look awesome.
Yeah, like it's just so simple yet cool. It's just simple yet cool. You know, you got
like this is my favorite kind of merch for a thing. Like I don't want a shirt that is the Superman logo and the Superman font. I want a shirt that is just Superman's S shield.
Yeah.
I want something that's subtle and it looks like that might be a piece of merch within the universe.
Yeah.
And this kind of fits that. Like this is subtle enough that like I could wear some of these and I don't think anybody would know it's Kamen Rider unless they know.
Although I don't think they did letter. No, they did do letter. Never mind.
Yeah, she's kind of there at the bottom.
Yeah. Although I will definitely, if I can get one, I'll want to get a gift.
Yeah. I hope they end up doing these for every rider because there's going to be more riders in Geats.
And I hope they get these to like Team Rider to be like, hey, make shirts of you.
Yeah, I deliberately added at Team Rider, and I was like, if you fuckers give me nothing else, give me these.
Yeah, please. Like we're gonna make good shirts to make these shirts.
Yeah, it's fucking. You haven't made a good shirt in a while, Team Rider. You could just port these over.
Yeah. Speaking of ports, I hope.
Yeah, we got some new Shout Factory announcements this week, and these were. Oh my goodness, I am. Yeah. Fucking Shin Kamen Rider. We got new posters.
Yeah, because it's coming out in March, and March is slowly impending.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, a lot of these involve the female character, kind of like there's one for herself, one with like Rider 1 and Rider 2. Although I do like the one with like Rider 1, where it kind of implies the Kamen Rider the first thing, where it's like the helmet, like you put it on and then you put a mouthpiece on.
Yeah, that's one of the suit designs are like the one thing I can really praise the first and the next for.
Yeah, and it seems like it's still like classic, but they're taking like little elements.
They're just adding in a few new details here and there.
Yeah. And everyone got drip in this movie.
But I do like that it seems, especially through the marketing and the trailers, that the female lead, whose name is just escaping me at the moment, because she is a character from the original show and the original manga, she's going to have a much more active role. Because I think she was only in like the first 2 or 3 episodes of the original series.
It was in like the first
and
arc.
And she doesn't have much agency in the manga.
Yeah, like she was in the first arc trying to investigate what the hell a Kamen Rider is. It seems like that's going to be like a focal point of the movie, which is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited. I hope we can see this as soon as everyone else, because they say they want to get this released in America. Freaking put it in theaters for limited release, like what the One Piece and Dragon Ball guys do.
Yeah, I will go to a theater filled with fat men children to watch this.
Yeah, and like aspiring cinema bros who think they have to see everything.
Okay, let's talk about that thing that I just spilled the beans on. New Shout Factory releases got announced today, and they were kind of leaked ahead of time. We saw the cases a few days ago, but the official announcements came today. Kamen Rider Ryuki, the complete series plus episode final, and Tokuso Sentai Deca Ranger are both coming from Shout Factory this February.
All right, let's get the Deca Ranger one. I have less to say because it's kind of like par for the course. I thought
they just poured over a bunch of SPD images for this fucking case.
Which honestly, that's probably the best because like the power, they probably have cleaner artwork of the Power Rangers versions of these suits. Like
it is hilarious though how there's like a couple shots down there at the bottom that are clearly Koichi explosions that probably aren't in Deca Ranger.
Oh yeah. There's a couple like I think there's one shot. Maybe they're in Deca Ranger. I don't know. I haven't, but like.
I'm pretty sure that bike was only an SPD.
Ooh.
But I don't know. I haven't watched Deca Ranger.
Maybe they kind of rough art of the set because they're like, oh, we got the Sentai DVDs back. Oh, we're gonna start releasing them like at a frequent rate again.
Yeah, but these are both kind of rushed because the Ryuki case is just as ugly as the Kuga case was.
Yeah, I mean it kind of made it a little better, but it's not.
I like the framing. I like the metal kind of advent card framing.
Yeah.
That's neat.
And I do like the text they use for includes episode final.
Those are cool touches, but like the guys, stop doing a romanization and the original Japanese logo. Just pick one already.
Yeah.
It looks weird.
It's not great. It's nice to have Ryuki because Ryuki's one of my favorite Rider shows, but I'm not sure if I'm like eager to pre-order these, even if it's like it comes out on my birthday.
Yeah, I've seen neither of these shows, so I'm not going to be pre-ordering these. But I'm just gonna throw this out there. Shout if you want me to buy this the day it goes in stock on your site.
It's already on stock. You can pre-order both of them right now.
No. I mean like when it's actually shipping. You want me to buy this then? Just sneak in a little bonus disc that might have a certain American Kamen Rider show on the Ryuki set.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Just don't tell anyone. Just don't tell anyone, and then you can't get sued. You can just go like, "Oh, how did that get in there? I don't know."
I don't think that's how legality works, but
it's really not. But fucking, I want it to be. I want them to do that.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it could have been nice to get a Ryuki Dragon Knight double pack, but yeah, I'm kind of a bit worried about the future of these sets, especially as we closer approach the HD Sentai series. Like, if you're not gonna do Bokenger and Blu-ray, at least make the DVD widescreen.
Yeah. Also, the hope for Showa Sentai sets is kind of dead at this point.
Oh yeah, because after 5-man, like I thought, okay, what's before 5-man? I think Turbo Ranger. I think we're gonna get that set, but it seems like
also,
they want to focus on.
I just realized. What the heck is Shout gonna do next for Rider? Because all the sets they've done so far were shows that they were already streaming on their site, and now they're out of those. I would buy a 1971 set, but I don't know how many other people would, because 1971 is the longest Rider show, and it's the oldest Rider show, so it's very impenetrable to a lot of people.
True, but also, out in March.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I completely forgot about that. That's probably where they're going. But after that, you
got another license. Freaking before Discotheque snipes them all.
I'm willing to bet it's either going to be Double or Gaim, because those have the two most internet buzz.
Build also. Please do build. Or freaking
okay, but that's among Rider and general Toku fans. Normies know about Double and Gaim.
Or hey, if you want to make me specifically happy, Kabuto. Anyway.
Not you specifically. Most Rider fans who have seen Kabuto love Kabuto, from what I hear.
Like, I'm just saying, like people will be like, why is this the next one? But like, yeah, Kabuto. Whatever.
Yeah, that's a dual Rider and Sentai bit of news, so it's a great way to transition us into Sentai news proper. First off, Hurricaneger 20th anniversary film got a bunch of side characters announced. Some of these people were in 10 years after, because I googled them all, and I think they're playing the same characters, but there's a couple newcomers here, and they all look like interesting side characters, who I'm sure I would be excited about if I knew anything about Hurricaneger.
Maybe I'll watch Hurricane. So this is on Tubi.
I bet you're gonna watch Hurricaneger because fucking Hurricaneger with Donbrothers is coming on Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, I should watch Hurricane. Okay.
Yeah, because this was announced. The next Toei Tokusatsu fan club special is going to be Ninpu Sentai Hurricaneger with Avatar Sentai Donbrothers special. And I think it's just going to be like a 20-minute special coming out on Christmas Day on Toei Tokusatsu fan club.
It's kind of what they did with like Gokaiger and 2Kaiser with like tying into 10 Gokaiger. It's like, hey, here's a little side thing that ties into the current like big production.
It's probably just going to be like a cute little thing shot in a day on 2 sets at the most.
Yeah, and it's like there's only Don Momotaro and Oni from Donbrothers represented, which makes sense. The two main characters of the show, so it would be nice to get a. And it looks like
the cafe is the only set they're going to use. They might be shooting on the Toei backlot for a fight scene.
Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. But it'll be cute. It'll be nice to see these big personalities interact with each other.
It was also cute just because they posted a TikTok of Oni Sisters actress and the Hurricaneger actors doing the Donbrothers opening dance.
Oh, that's great.
And I was just struck by the sheer age difference between them, because she's like, you forget, Oni Sisters actress is younger than us.
Yeah, she's 17.
So, and I think the Hurricanegers are all like in their mid to late 30s.
Yeah. Well, that legacy, man, that Sentai legacy.
Mm-hmm. How about that? But hopefully that'll be good. I may or may not watch it. It'll depend on how busy I am the week after Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it won't get subbed until the next weekend,
Yeah, it'll probably
since
get
it's dropping
subbed
Christmas
around,
Day.
like beginning New Year. I bet it'll be like
Yeah, it'll probably get subbed the day before New Year's Eve. I bet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put down money on that. Not really.
Okay, that would be a stupid thing to put money on.
Yeah. Also, let's move into coming Sentai news. There's been a ton of little details that have leaked about King Oger. And Ranger Board, which is what we have linked here because it was the most comprehensive list I could find, is calling these confirmed. I believe these are coming from scans of some sort, but nobody is sharing the exact scans. So I'm not 100% believing this shit until we have like proper images and it's all set in stone. But the big things coming out of this are that, as has been rumored for months, the King Ogers are going to be bug themed. The color composition of the main team is going to be red, blue, yellow, purple, and black. And the first robot is going to be formed by 10 individual mecha.
Yeah, it seems like the 10 mecha they list are Stag Beetle, Dragonfly, Mantis, Papillon, Slidefly, Bee, Ladybug 1, Ladybug 2, Spider 1, Spider 2. That's gonna be crazy, man. Let them cook.
Yeah. It seems like they're continuing to experiment around with Sentai mecha design in general, which is low-key exciting.
Yeah, and there's also seemed to be a Kabuto mecha that transforms into a cannon for the for the main mecha. So that's gonna be like a fucking 11 thing, freaking Q Ranger seething right now.
Yeah. I wonder how they're gonna do that. Are the mechas gonna be like Pokemon and they each have like a team of 6 by the end of the show?
Yeah, that would be kind of cute if they kind of lean into a collector's aspect, especially because Dawn of the Tajin didn't debut until episode 12 or 13 of Donbrothers. So if they want to introduce a mecha per episode, that could work.
Yeah.
If the mecha's tied to the monster of the week, either captured by it or they freaking recruit it, that would be cool. Yeah,
they're also saying that the suits, the kind of spiked protrusions we saw in the helmets, those aren't crowns. They're going to be like horns that the bugs have.
I mean, I think they could be they could still be considered crowns. It's like a fusion of the two.
Mm-hmm. I hope they are, because I would be big upset if they missed that opportunity to put crowns on the freaking helmets.
I mean, I think at this point it'll be a bit more subtle crown than a big over.
Oh yeah, I didn't want it to be like everybody has a shiny gold crown in the sculpt of their helmet. I wanted it to be like a subtle kind of shape. How you don't notice until you've stared at them for an hour, but the Gokaiger visors are all sculpted like boats.
Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, but that's probably what's gonna be with the King Ogers. And apparently they said there's a similarity to the first anime. What the hell does that?
I have no idea. That must be a weird lost in translation thing, because I don't know what the actual first anime movie is, but I know what is considered to be the first anime is a 3-minute short of 2 cartoon samurais beating the crap out of each other.
Are the King Ogers freaking gonna go battle royale? We'll see. It's gonna be 2 Toei battle royale shows at the same time. But what actually has me more interested is the King Ogers all have capes on their left shoulder, like Kamen Rider Beast, and their armor is reminiscent of Hollywood's Power Rangers. Don't be shit. Don't be shit. Don't be shit.
Sir, do you mean PR 2017, or do you mean Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie? Because those are 2 wildly different levels of armor, one of which I could be okay with, the other which I'm gonna facepalm super hard at.
Yeah, I mean, it should be fine. Toei and Plex are Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
I just seeing Hollywood and Power Rangers together as an inspiration, Sentai. I get what you're going for, but also stop.
No, we need the show to have more global appeal, or it's gonna die.
But you're not releasing it globally. You know what's global appeal? Releasing it globally. Fucking Toei, man.
Shut up! Quit pirating our shows.
Although the Henshin sword and overall aesthetic give the leaker Kamen Rider Saber vibes. It's not anything Bandai has put out; it's just their initial feeling. But that's probably just natural because Kamen Rider Saber was the most recent sword show, but that Bandai and Plex have worked on.
Mm-hmm. Gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
There's more details if you scroll down a bit. Unlike Danoni Chajin, the first Robo will release early in the first quarter, so they're planning appropriately.
Yeah. Although even then, Onitajin was released like when it debuted in the show.
Apparently you can attach Don Onitajin's head to the mecha.
Oh yeah, they said it in the first thing, but they're releasing a special Don Onitajin head you can release on the mecha. So maybe because if they still want to do the anniversary thing, like with King Oger, like rumored, they can just freaking like different mecha heads collect to put on the mecha. That could be.
Yeah. Looks like most of the rest of this is kind of spoiler territory. How far do we want to go?
I'm kind of curious, but like, we'll probably get a poster. We'll just,
Yeah. The henshin device is a sword. There's gonna be a buckle that looks like a cell phone that you can mount onto it. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of reminds me of Fize's Final Form little case. So.
Yeah. So the show is sounding interesting.
Yeah, I need a writer to know like what to be excited about. You know. If like, is Inoue staying on? Or are they gonna get someone new? Is Shirakura still producing? I'm kind of concerned about, or like not concerned, but just very interested if he wants to do a trilogy.
You're like freaking Vader in Toei headquarters. Where is Shirakura? Is he safe? Is he all right?
I need him to make funny like behind the scenes production notes. Talk about how he wants Don Momotaro and Sonoi to keep being lovey-dovey.
Talk about how fucking Inoue wasn't allowed to watch Zenkaiger, apparently.
Yeah, like it wasn't even Inoue didn't want. Inoue was apparently gonna, but like Shirakura's like, no, you can't. Which is very.
You can't come up with a logical explanation for Kaito. I won't allow it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, from that silly intrigue, we're gonna move on to something a little bit more heavy. And I am just going to let people know about this. We're not going to discuss details on here in deference to the deceased, and also just for general safety of triggering our audience. Tammy Frank, Jason David Frank's widow, got on Facebook a few days ago and shared some very intimate details about the night that Jason David Frank took his life. Basically her entire perspective on the day and what happened from her point of view. If you want to read that, it is there. I read it. It's not like horribly graphic or anything, but it did get me tearing up by the end of it. So I wouldn't recommend it for anybody who's weak of heart.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
And I'm actually going to be having a trigger warning in the video description next to the link.
Yeah, I won't be reading it because of.
Yeah. I will say this, she didn't actually say the method. I think they're probably going to be keeping that to themselves for a good long while, and that's probably for the best. Yeah. What is a little more lighter and coming out of the same situation is a independent Etsy company called Phoenix Spire Crafts is doing a memorial bracelet for JDF with all the proceeds going to benefit a suicide prevention charity. And it's a really nice, really well made looking bracelet. I've checked out reviews on this company. They seem fairly reputable. And they've actually almost entirely sold out of their stock. There's currently, at the time of this recording, there's only one available. I'm not sure if they're going to do a restock or not, but I did order one, and I have a plan for what to do with it in relation to my own videos. I don't want to say what just yet, but just know that this is a thing that's there if you want to get it and want to do something to kind of put out betterment into the world in light of this tragedy, and I would recommend doing that. Even if you don't want to get this bracelet, maybe just give a direct donation to the charity they said they're donating the proceeds to, or whatever suicide prevention charity you're into on your own. Yeah, let's move on from that to some stupid shit. There's a new MMPR backpack, MMPR red backpack coming from a company called Loungefly. I've never fucking heard of them, but this looks all right as far as this kind of thing goes. It looks fairly tacky in my opinion, but like it's not the worst I've ever seen.
Backpack is backpack. Moving on.
Mhm. I do love the photo with like the Instagram influencer they got to hold it.
That's funny.
The woman looks like she'd rather be doing anything else. She looks like she's trying to look cool, but it just comes off like she looks like she'd rather be doing anything
It
else.
looks like she's like thinking about like her day, like, yeah, I could have done that better.
Yeah, what am I gonna have for dinner tonight? Hey, Innovation Point teased a new Action Q Power Rangers figure. It's incredibly obvious what it's gonna be, and it's an incredibly predictable and lazy choice.
Yeah, they started this line so good with the Dino Fury Red, and now it's just, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's a good line, but also you started with such a good pick, and then you're just doing.
They need to start working on completing the Dino Fury team, or I'm gonna get real mad at them, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's so weird because they started with like saying we're not gonna be like the other like licensed out Hasbro like Power Rangers lines, and then they're just
maybe Dino Fury Red just didn't sell all that well, and so they're going like, "Oh, that's why everybody else did that."
Yeah, that sucked. Like, I mean, I already have like 2 Dino Fury Reds, eyeing a third when Cosmic's line gets.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm if I can come into some extra money before the holidays, I've been meaning to get the basic figure for my nephew, but I've already bought him 2 things for Christmas already. So we'll see what happens. It depends on funds and whatnot.
Speaking of Power Rangers figures,
hey, a new Lightning Collection thing leaked this week because it wouldn't be a month in the year without a Lightning Collection leak. The Alien Rangers 5-pack got leaked by In Demand Toys from the UK. They didn't say how they got a hold of these images, but they have said that like right now they don't think they're going to be getting it in because they did clarify later in the day. The article I have linked here doesn't say it, but it is going to be an Amazon exclusive like the Psycho Ranger 5-pack.
And like the Dino Fury basic line 5-pack.
Yeah, and honestly, I think this is the best way to go for the Alien Rangers because they're a fairly obscure team, and I mean, like, most people either just want I forget their individual names. Most people either just want red or want red and white. I don't know anybody who super cares about yellow, black, or blue.
Maybe if you watch Kaku Ranger, because I'm actually kind of eyeing this as like a Kaku Ranger day for when I eventually get around to that shit.
Yeah, these do look like pretty good Kaku Ranger figures, I'll say that. Especially because there's no civilian heads! Yeah. That really upsets me, especially because, like, this team, like, they spent a lot of time out of suit when they were in the show, and, like, there was extensive makeup for them that those actors still to this day joke about at conventions. So, like, come on, man. They should have had civilian heads.
Maybe they're trying to sell this to, like, just a general, like, they're trying to sell this to both Power Rangers collectors and Sentai collectors. So.
I'll probably end up getting this eventually. However, I am very behind on Amazon exclusives I want to get at the moment. There's, like, 5 that came out this year that I still haven't gotten but want to.
Maybe if it comes out, like, before my birthday in February, looking.
Yeah. At the worst, I'll definitely get Red loose at some point because I want to have every Lightning Collection Red Ranger that they make. But there is a tiny little update or addendum to this, which is that a lot of people were quick to point out on the artwork the Yellow Ranger had an inaccurate detail where there's supposed to be like a little red triangle at the bottom of his collar, but on the artwork and on the actual figure it was gold for some reason. And then a random account when Josh Lightning Living Ranger Key Lightning Fig PR fucking Toku Topics man pointed this out on Twitter. An account added him and said, and I quote, "Hey Josh, just saw your video about the Alien Rangers and let me tell you, Yellow Ranger is actually correct in the final product. How do I know that? Good question." And it's a blurry ass photo that's clearly an actual photo of the figure, not a render or artwork like on the box. And it is corrected. And if you look at the background, this looks like the kind of figure photography that you get when the figures go up for pre-order. But I looked at this dude's account. This dude has nothing to do with Hasbro. He is a fucking porn actor from the fucking South America. This is the most bizarre thing I've seen happen with the Lightning Collection to date, if this turns out to be real.
What was he cooking? That's all I ask. What are you cooking, mate?
Yeah.
Speaking of what could have been cooked.
Yeah, let's get away from this. So another thing that came out recently through JDF's official accounts posted by his family is that, and we had heard rumblings of this at the time, but back when Saban and Lionsgate had their partnership and were working on the movie and whatnot, in 2013 and 2014, Jason David Frank pitched a Tommy Oliver solo show to them that would have been on like a streaming service or something. And the general plot is Tommy has been lost to the grid, and the only way to bring him back is to combine all his morphers. This would have created a new Ranger power called the Ranger Prime. If you notice the design of the outfit, which is pictured in this tweet, it uses features that were on all his previous outfits. The suit would be able to change colors and call upon his past powers. This is fucking lame, and I'm really glad it didn't happen. Because this is the kind of thing that when he was alive used to drive me up the wall about Jason David Frank, is he would constantly be throwing out ideas and trying to get clearly just projects that were vanity projects for him made. And it was like, dude, I understand you want work, you care about this character, and you have a lot of fans who care about this character, so you're trying to do what's best for all that. But, like, this is bad. If this had happened, it would have been bad for the Power Rangers brand in general, in my opinion, because it goes against one of the most basic tenets of the franchise, a line that fucking Jason and Tommy both said at several points in the original show: no one Ranger is more important than any of the others.
Yeah, this is a pretty, like, blanket attempt of just trying to be like, oh, I want to, like, make a streaming show about Power Rangers, you know? I don't mind making... I don't mind the color scheme of, like, having one Ranger be green, one Ranger be red, but that's, like, divorced from this plot. Not really.
But that's not even the designs we see here. It's, like, a really generic Lord Draken-esque suit, and like there's Tron lines that change color.
It's not like people complain about the MC.
It's not great, but like one thing that is, I am glad we found out about this, that we got this information, because like you can see how like these ideas led to things like the Master Morpher and Dimensions in Danger.
Yeah, it is pretty. It does lead. It kind of does like lead. It does speak to his life for better or worse.
But let's talk about a legacy that's kind of in jeopardy, because via Anime Manga TV, which seems to be a
Portuguese?
A Portuguese news outlet, we've found out that Beast Morphers, the entire series, is going to be leaving Netflix next month. I'm just gonna put on this eye patch real quick after the show. I hope nobody minds.
Yeah. Well, first off, this show is basically no streaming legal release unless they plan to re-upload it to YouTube.
I really hope that's what happens. Is it goes off and like the next day they start putting it on YouTube.
Probably not the next day. Probably when they get to it in the upload. We're currently on Operation Overdrive. They slowed down massively when they got to like Lightspeed Rescue. Now it takes like to get to a finish.
Wasn't it? Well, it was probably like a response, because I remember people would complain every week about how many episodes they dumped in people's sub boxes.
Yeah, good point. Probably that. Although, like, yeah. I do think there's probably gonna be the YouTube backup. It's gonna take a bit, but they're getting close. Operation Overdrive is either done or almost done, and they're gonna move on to RPM because Jungle Fever already done. And then the Neo Saban, they only have to do 3 of them because Dino Fear Charge is already all on YouTube, and then then they can do Beast Morph. And then Dino Fury on Netflix. I still don't like this, but I don't like that people. This is just Power Rangers fans being Power Rangers fans are considering like Power Rangers is dead. They got no home anymore. I'm like, shut up! Stop being a fear mongering asshole.
They're spreading the love around is what's happening. You got the new show comes out on Netflix. The old shows are all up on YouTube. You got DVDs for most of the stuff. Did they ever do Beast Morphers DVDs?
That's
They should probably get Shout Factory on the horn.
Yeah, I really hope. Like, I think they're because I do know like they did make a new license. Like Hasbro is involved in the Sentai, so that's probably why they're doing Heisei stuff first rather than Showa stuff because it's more marketable.
Yeah, and I mean, like Hasbro historically has a solid relationship with Shout Factory. Most Transformer shows have gotten released through them. Same with GI Joe. So I could see that happening. I could see us getting like a Hasbro era box set of Beast Morphers and Dino
maybe
Fury.
re-release Neo Saban because all the Neo Saban stuff was under Lionsgate's DVDs. So it's like,
that's right.
So probably gonna do like a Neo Saban era box set. Probably, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like overthinking this, but there's gonna be ways. There's the HD rips of the show float online. You gotta. I know it sucks for people who don't know how to pirate, but they'll like just wait like a couple months for just go watch Sentai on because Sentai seasons. I don't want to say where you can find them, but they're just on YouTube randomly. And like Go Busters was one of the first ones I saw on YouTube. So
hey, I watched Go Busters on YouTube too.
Yeah, you get it. Speaking of Beast Morphers and Go Busters,
Abraham Rodriguez, excuse me, I have fucking names. AKA the actor who portrayed Nate Silver / Beast Morphers Gold, recently posted an Instagram saying he's in Auckland, New Zealand.
Okay, here's my prediction. Finally gonna get finally the Beast Morphers Dino Fury crossover is gonna happen. It's either gonna be just him or we're gonna get the whole team, which is gonna be very exciting either way. It's either going to be for an episode or, in my opinion, they might get a bunch of returning Rangers for, like, the final battle scene. Because if this Cosmic Fury is truly going to be the end of this era, this kind of Power Ranger show that they're, like, the rumors are claiming it to be, then yeah, this is going to be, like they will probably want to go a big send-off of, like, a bunch of actors.
Yeah, I mean, like, up until, something we forgot to mention, up until a couple weeks ago, David Yost was still in New Zealand, so I think he's actually in a bit of Cosmic Fury.
So
and I wouldn't be surprised if, like, him and some of the other people they got back for the anniversary special and Abraham are in the final battle scene. But I'm also thinking, what if, because of the rumors going around that, like, they're making this like it's the final season, what if this is them bringing in the Silva brothers to fucking make everybody happy and fix the weird Steel becoming a human thing?
Maybe it's just
for an episode.
That would be kind of a lame use of like your limited time because Cosmic Fury only got 10 episodes, mate. Yeah. And Simon Bennett already confirmed like a while ago they're all going to be 20-minute episodes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It'll be nice to see him back.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if it is just him, hopefully he makes he gives us some updates on what the other Beast Morphers characters are doing now.
I mean, I do think the rest of the Beast Morphers cast are open, but like out of all of the ones, that's the one you gotta get. And I like as much issues I have with Beast Morphers, Nate is one of my favorite characters. Plus, it's nice to see return in some way. And we finally get a proper Beast Morphers Dino Fury crossover after the tease in the actual show. So
yeah, but that is all the news that's fit to print. So, Buster, why don't you take us on to new releases?
Probably get started with the most controversial debate on frickin' episode in a bit. Ultraman Decker, episode 20, Lord Ragon. I like this episode. I'm sorry.
This episode was fucking shit, dude. What the hell?
It was a nice, simple, Ultra Q-esque plot. It was like about...
Yeah, I get that. But here's the thing about doing that kind of shit. It doesn't work when you have it in ultra crystal clear HD and you're trying to fit those values into a modern context. Like, I watched this episode and I just kept thinking, like, oh my god, this is some Japanese boomer trying to shove Japanese boomer values down kids' throats.
I can understand that. I can kind of understand that, but also just it still looked nice. I still felt earnest from it. Like I didn't think it was like as bad as you're making it out to be. It wasn't like great, but as like a breather episode before we head into the final arc next week, it was fun.
Like, here's the thing. I'm glad Kirino finally got another Focus episode, but I think it's really weird that like the whole message of this Focus episode is, hey, call your grandma.
I don't know, but I do understand. I do understand where you're coming from. Like again, it was a simple, fine episode. That just, I mean, it is currently on my lower tier of Decker episodes, but it's not like insultingly bad or like a lot of Trigger episodes.
And I mean, like, I get that it's a stylistic choice, but man, the effects fell off in this one to
I
me.
didn't mind the effects actually. I mean, then again, I really live for that like Showa like level. I'm starting to really appreciate Showa level effects, so it doesn't really matter to me what kind of quality or like style the effects were.
Well, here's the thing. There's cool Showa effects, and then there's janky Showa effects, and this felt like janky Showa effects.
Fair. I mean, I like both the jank and the flashy. Yeah, don't really got much to say on this episode outside of just it was fine.
Yeah, it's a weird episode. I really didn't care for it. It didn't make me go like, oh well, Decker's ruined now. But it was like it just left me going like that was a fucking weird episode. I hope we don't get anything like that for the rest of the show.
We only have 5 episodes
and
left,
we probably won't.
And it's like next. The preview says final arc time. So.
Also, was it just me, or did you like stop the episode to check the time code when Kaneda finally showed up?
No.
Because he doesn't show up until like 10 minutes into this 20-minute episode.
No, I was entertained. Although I did love, my favorite touch of this episode was like when the character screamed and that scream kept playing into the intro. That was good.
That was cool. I did like that. The opening was a really good Ultra Q homage. I'll give you that. The first opening scene and the way it leads into the intro, that was good, but it was all downhill from there for me.
Fair. It's gonna be an acquired taste, especially if like how like usual up to the rest of the.
Yeah.
All right, superhero time. Kamen Rider Geats, episode 13, Stratagem 4. Take back the drivers.
This episode.
Yeah. This is probably the best Koichi Sakamoto direction I've seen in a bit, and that's saying something because the last episode of Decker was also Sakamoto directed.
Koichi has been having a wild ass year, hasn't he? He's been like doing all kinds of crazy shit, and it's all been good.
Very big step up from head director. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I loved like the new gimmick. Let's talk about that. The new power up. I love how you have to like
Twin Command.
Yeah, I love how you have to like fight with it for a bit before getting its true form. That's fun. And also the idea of like, all the belts are taken. We have to go get them back, and the monsters are using the belts, and that's really good.
I like that it's musical chairs, but it's not straight up musical chairs. There's a neat element to everyone can maybe still win.
And also, like freaking Tycoon, like basically giving Geats the belt temporarily, and then just be like, "You have everything." And that was such a good moment, but just very understated, but still very well done, and like shows how far these two have grown already.
I will say though, I think my favorite thing about Twin Command, just overall, is that so every form in Geats so far, and this has been like a thing with Kamen Rider suits for years, like most regular suits just have these kind of basic Croc-esque booties for the shoes. Yeah. Friggin' Twin Command, they gave him these big ass stompy boots that are sculpted to look like the frickin' hand feet that the Revolve Change toys have.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, that made me so happy as a toy guy when I saw
and it's clear that the Revolve Change figures are a big part of like Geats' design philosophy, and like they're trying to make the figures more of a thing.
Yeah. Also, we got the name, or I guess early translations got the name wrong. It's not the Raging Sword; it's the Rising Sword, which is equally hilarious.
Yeah, both boners. Yeah, and then the CEO guy, like, they technically debut with him just being like, oh, well, if the Game Master's gonna cheat, fair game for everything. Oh, I already love him. Love him.
I love how fucking just, like, done with everybody in this episode the Game Master
like,
is.
What's going on?
He calls the greenhouse guy and he's like, what the fuck? Why are they using drivers? I don't know, dude. They're just using drivers now. Fucking, you're doing something, you fucker. Goddammit. Geats, stop fucking questioning Surumi. Leave her the fuck alone. You fucking kill Geats already. Why are you fucking with the game? What the fuck is going? Fuck this. I'm becoming a Kamen Rider next week.
So, yeah, he's gonna be Glare. Still not a fan of the suit, but anyway.
Yeah. Also, like, it's pretty predictable that he's Glare, isn't it? Like it's just like a lazier version of your black hole boy.
Kinda, but like also I thought like CEO guy was gonna be there, but I guess his turn into a writer is.
Yeah, I really wanted it to either be him or Nago's dad.
Yeah. They'll probably get to be how like modern Kamen Rider is with like everyone gets a belt, and Geats is also just flip it with everyone gets a belt, so they'll get their chance or never. This is poorly aged.
We shall see.
So the direction, like they still keep the Geats style of like very stylish like, movement, but they still have the Sakamotoisms in it, and that's like a very careful blend that I'm glad they pull off.
Yeah, there's a lot of actor fights in this episode, and they're like really solid too. And hey, Koichi, thank you for not sexualizing Neon.
Yeah, thank you so much. Never do it. I think probably like Toei and like the producers. What was the producer's god? But like she was like, don't do scummy, don't be sus. We already have people with the misogyny allegations because of Letter.
Yeah, it might have been that, but a part of me just thinks it would be way more funny if he got to set and he was like, all right, I'm gonna get to do some skirt shots today. And then he saw the freaking ridiculous full body tactical outfits they have, and he was like, God damn it.
Even that Neon mostly wears pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, probably one of the best Geats episodes yet.
All right. I don't think I have anything else to say about that.
Donbrothers time. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Avatar Sentai Donbrothers, episode 39, pressing the wrong button.
In a way.
All right. Now, and a lot of people. Okay, I have a very unique set. A lot of people.
I want to hang on. I want to say I loved this episode, but this episode was fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. But I have a very unique take. A lot of people are calling this like a parody, a comedy. I think it's just Donbrothers is very over the top. That when it tries to do like it's very over the top, and it's like the solution is a humorous solution to this problem. But also like I think that like people are like underestimating. There's some actually legit good like emotion tension that you get from like a final arc, like before the final arc, but it's like a very strong monster. It feels like that in a very
yeah, no, the freaking Donbrothers all think they're gonna die for this whole episode, and they're taking it seriously.
And that's a really legit good emotion that remind me of like that feels classic Sentai to me, where it's like it's not quite the final arc, but they're about to get their final power up. Yeah, and it's like that emotion was great. And then Don Killer himself, he doesn't get a suit. He's just a cyborg.
He's just freaking Metallo from. He's just a cyborg Superman.
He's been, like murking everyone and freaking like doing what Hulk did to Loki in the Avengers 2012 to both Inu and Kiji.
Yeah, he freaking Loki's everyone. It's hilarious.
And then the only way to stop him is to use the backup robot Don Killer, which is like so. I thought that was a joke. No, that's actually the episode. And to just put them in
everything about that too is super interesting, because the way we find out about it is freaking Kaito goes to talk to Taro's dad in the prison, and we find out that like apparently they have a long-standing relationship of some kind where Taro's dad really respects Kaito. What's up with that? And then the way Don Killer gets activated is freaking Jiro's dad has a button.
Yeah, just everyone got buttons. I mean, well, Jiro's already part of the Don clan. And also, there's the last minute reveal of Jiro. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that. But like the way they have to
but like I love the way they introduce the button too. It is just one massive run-on joke, because they're trying to do a good thing. They're trying to clean the cafe, and then they find a safe and just immediately start being shitheads. And they all type in their birthdays, and that turns out to be the correct password. And then all the people who did that are just like, "Yo, Jiro, press the button. Press the button. Do it. I bet you won't do it. Do it, you wuss." And then he does it, and immediately Kaito is there, and he's like, "What the fuck did you idiots do?" And then, like, 3 scenes later, Kaito just offhandedly goes, "How did they guess a random, like, 20-digit combination?" He didn't even mean for it to be their birthdays!
So, like, crazy. It's like, I love this show. It's so funny. It's a legit great humor. Like, and also like the legit character drama you have of these, like, big personalities, and even just them realizing, I could possibly die today. That was like that opening segment where it's like Donbrothers started on March, but in December they were almost eliminated. That actually got me hyped, like unironically. I know it was supposed to be a little comedic, but like that was pretty. And Then the freaking way they do it, it reminded me of Kamen Rider Wizard.
Like when Sonoe shows up and he's like, "Yo, somebody's trying to kill my boyfriend. We gotta stop this." And then they all get their asses kicked, and he's like, "Yeah, no, my boyfriend's dead. Too bad."
I think it was just supposed to be a distraction of Donbrothers. This is what you wanted, Taro. He says that. And then like the freaking ending. I keep trying to talk about this, but they just pulled like a Phoenix from Kamen Rider Wizard to just freaking have the two like engaged in eternal combat in space. I don't think that's coming back.
I feel like that has to be some weird, twisted cosmic joke about the nature of Sentai itself.
It probably is, but also I know it's probably not gonna. It's not likely, but I hope to God they just like in the final episode, the two just crash on the final, and that like solves like.
Yeah, we just there's a big monster mash that's about to kill Taro, and then they just both crash into him, and all three characters are immediately dead.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. And then the freaking end twist: Jiro is a Juto.
Jiro's a
yeah, he's the penguin bestial. Why penguin when he's a dragon and tiger? I don't know.
Yeah, I forget what Natsumi or Miho said about the penguin bestial, so I don't know what exactly that means. But like,
here's what I'm saying.
Fuck, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense because remember, he's a multiple personality boy, and he's been that way for years.
Yeah, so here's what I'm questioning: who's the Juto, Pharaoh or Dragon? Drago G.
I think it's Dragon, because remember, Dragon was a personality he created as a child to get along with his friends.
So, God, like, the freaking, like, bestial, like, secondary form, is the, like, actual, like, main Jiro. The human Jiro, or not human, he's Don Clan.
Like, am I supposed to root for this boy or not?
Man. Oh god, and we only got like 10 episodes.
Also, it's another insane episode where Inoue just shoves him into the background.
Oh god. Okay, next episode is gonna be like another dramatic, but like mixed with a comedy plot. Okay, I think after that episode, Inoue needs to start like getting into final arc territory. There's so much to wrap up.
Yeah, we've got 10 episodes left of this show, dude, and I'm sitting here like, okay, I've enjoyed the ride so far, but my dude, Toshiki, Mr. Inoue, can you please start paying some things off?
Like, I feel like we're gonna start seeing that next week, but like that's a big if because the preview didn't show much of like what they could be possibly paying off.
Yeah, here's me giving the benefit of the doubt. I think they might be hiding a bunch of big plot stuff in that episode by showing us like most of one scene in Haruka doing driving lessons.
Yeah, that might be like a 7-minute part of like a 14 minutes of hell. Yeah, this show, man. And like even if the show like ends up being like it'll still be like a great classic. I feel like even if the ending is we'll still appreciate the journey. We'll still like somewhat appreciate of how like fun it is, you know? And even then, the ending's gonna be like very like even if it is shit, it's gonna be shit in a legendary way, you know?
I mean, you can say that, but like for me, and I said this on Twitter earlier today, how I feel about this show is entirely gonna depend on how it ends. Like, it's in a way, I'm not expecting him to perfectly resolve everything, but there are certain things that I'm like, if this doesn't happen by episode 50, what the fuck?
I've kind of like thrown out Zenkaiser Black being like a major part because like
no, because we found out in the last couple weeks that fucking Inoue hasn't even seen Zenkaiger, so that's just not getting explained.
Yeah, that's gonna be like a throwaway line.
Unless the team up has a completely different writer.
That's gonna be a throwaway line in the end credits with like the thing, you know? Of like what the hell.
Actually, you know what? Here's an idea. In the team up, just have them be completely separate characters. Like split screen them for one scene. Have them meet each other and be like, oh, you look very handsome. Oh, so do you.
Yeah,
and that's it.
It's like that's the interaction. Oh yeah, but man, the Donbrothers Geats, they were pretty great this week. Decker was a bit like hit or miss, but you know, all week of episodes. Talk about the Kamen Rider manga, then we'll get into the freaking election we teased.
Yeah, we'll get into Decision 2022. So remember last week when I said the Kamen Rider manga was actually incredibly simplistic and boring?
Did it get freaking good?
I was wrong. I was so incredibly wrong. It gets fucking nuts in chapter 4 because here's the thing. The Kamen Rider manga wasn't like weekly or monthly. It only came out like every once in a while because it was being made at the same time as the show. The show and the manga were partially promotional things for each other, all in the service of selling toys. So I think chapter 4 was Toei coming to Ishinomori and going, Hiroshi Fujioka broke his leg. We need you to make a new Kamen Rider. Fuck, do something! So, chapter 4 is knucking futz in that, like, it opens with Tachibana being like, hey, Hongo, I hope you don't mind. I used your family fortune to make you a big science lab so you can make better weapons to fight Shocker with. Here, all these assistants I hired for you built you a new, more powerful motorcycle. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. And then Shocker sends the 13 Kamen Riders they made before Hongo that we've never heard about before after Hongo, and they kick the shit out of him. He, like, barely survives and makes it back to his mansion. And immediately after that, Hayato Ichimonji shows up with the female lead, and she's like, hey, I'm still investigating my father's death, and I got this news reporter, Mr. Hayato Ichimonji. He wants to interview you because you were also abducted by Shocker. And he's like, okay. And it's one of those tense fucking scenes where, like, over the course of the scene, both characters figure out that each other are Kamen Riders, and one of them is still working for Shocker. And then Ichimonji leads Hongo into a trap and almost succeeds in killing him before his brainwashing is magically solved by getting hit in the head. And then he goes and saves Hongo and takes him back to the mansion. But Hongo is already fatally injured. So he's like, I need you to take up the task of fighting Shocker and being Kamen Rider. And he's like, okay. And you think Hongo's about to die. But the scientist assistants Tachibana hired take Hongo's brain and put it in a jar, and now Hongo can telepathically talk to Hayato while he's on missions.
I thought the ending was just insane. What did you just say?
That's all real. That all happens. That is one chapter.
And what happens in chapter 5?
Hayato goes back to his hometown and finds out that there's a secret Shocker base there and destroys it.
Yeah, I think it's 6 chapters, right?
There's a good chunk of the book left, but it might be like mostly extra materials. I'm not sure.
Because I heard the ending is like it's weird. It's not really conclusive. It's just another adventure, but it's like a weird episode. Whoa, you know. But yeah, that was.
But yeah, no, that whole evening of reading was knuckin' futz.
But yeah, I still need to freaking read that. It's a thick book sitting on my shelf next to my Go Ranger manga. I need to get to reading it, or I'm just gonna freaking.
Have you read the Go Ranger manga?
Okay,
yet?
I have not.
Forget.
I want to because it's much like it's probably easier to read than the thick ass Kamen Rider manga.
There's probably less brains in jars.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. But yeah, I'll probably maybe start reading it. We'll see. I kind of want to read it with Go Ranger, but like so whenever I start Go. Speaking of more Sentai, do you want to explain the election or?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it from the top here. So, I know I said on this show a little while ago I was going to be taking a break from old Toku for the rest of the year because I had finished all the black that was available for me to watch, and I was like, I want to have a little bit of a break. I want to dip my toes into some other stuff besides Toku for a bit, but I did watch one thing and end up enjoying it, which was Star Wars Andor. That's a good show. Everybody should go watch it if they like Star Wars and Andor. But then I started watching something else, and you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna say what it is here, because I didn't talk about this publicly because I want my Code Lyoko lecture to be like a big view grabber for Modular Media. Like, I've been slowly ingratiating myself into the wider Code Lyoko fandom in the last month. But I tried to rewatch Code Lyoko Evolution, and I guess it's okay to talk about it on this show anyways, because it's technically a tokusatsu since there's live action chunks. Code Lyoko Evolution is fucking dog shit, man. Like, I forgot how bad it is. It is the fucking Power Rangers Super Mega Force of French cartoons.
The reboot next, but the Netflix reboot.
Yeah, I did not like it at all. And it routinely frustrated me so much that after 10 episodes, which is like a 26 episode show, I fucking just said, enough of this. I need to watch something else. I need good shit. Where can I get good shit fast? So I came home, and that Friday night, I like took 2 hours to figure out, like, okay, how can I get Sentai on, how can I get Toku in general on my phone and watch it subbed without using data during my lunch break? And I figured that out, and I said, okay, I said my next show was going to be a Sentai, and I had already planned to do this. I had already planned to hold polls to decide what the next show I would watch would be from now on, within the guideline of it's a Sentai, or it's a Rider, it's a Ultra, or it's a fucking Garo or some shit. So I went on my drama list and I looked at what the four highest rated Sentais I haven't watched yet are, and I put a Twitter poll up, and just from looking at the four highest rated, I kind of knew this was going to happen because of how universally beloved the show is. But Jetman won because Buster rigged the vote.
I just merely said
you rigged the vote. You were fucking retweeting on the daily, going vote Jetman.
I just quote tweeted saying like, "Hey, maybe vote Jetman, and I'll do a Zyuranger video." And then
that's bribery, sir.
I might have bribed the vote. I might have put something on the line. I might have. I mean, I was probably gonna watch Zyuranger. Like, I already started.
I mean, everyone's eventually going to watch Zyuranger, even your aunt who's never heard of Super Sentai.
Yeah,
it's
unfortunately. So I technically made Vac watch the first 2 episodes of Jetman. So before I get into like a Zyuranger post-mortem, what did you think?
So I'll say right off the bat, I like it so far. However, I don't love it.
That's fair.
I'm finding it mostly interesting from a historical perspective, because you got to understand, Jetman is beloved because of the fact that it is like a very robust and characterful show, and it was like the first Sentai to really do that in years. Like, Go Ranger and Battle Fever are kind of that way, but they're still very of their time. And most other Sentais that predate Jetman are kind of bland and homogenous. Liveman is maybe a bit more characterful, but it's all kind of samey characters and stuff. And then you get to Jetman, and it was just a bunch of wild new shit nobody had ever seen before at the time. And it's a lot of archetypes that have since been iterated on and debatably improved upon a whole lot. So, like, Black Condor is a really interesting and cool character, but I've also seen 10 other characters like him before. And I know that's not the show's fault, that is my fault, but still, I'm looking at this man and I'm going like, okay, guy, you're as interesting as everybody says, but you can't just keep doing this shit for the whole show. Buster, do not fucking spoil me. Nobody send me Jetman spoilers, because I am very militant about, I don't mind spoilers for something I have no current plans to watch, but if I have decided that I am going to watch something, if you spoil me, I will fucking block you on Modular Media, I will block you on all my personal accounts, and then I will find your fucking personal address and come to your door and slap the shit out of you. That's my rule. So, anyway, getting back to the show, I find Guy to be an incredibly interesting character, but he can't keep doing all this same fuckboy shit for the rest of the show. We need to develop this, we need to go places with this, we need to find out why he is this way. And given that it's Toshiki Inoue, I'm not sure if that's actually gonna happen. So it's how I feel about Jetman's story is going to entirely depend on things like that. Like, clearly they've set up a big tension thing, a fucking Black and Shadow Moon-esque thing with Ryu and his fiancée seemingly dying and seemingly coming back as one of the villains. But how's that going to play out? I wonder. I want to see. I want to know. So, like, the characters are solid. The characters are good. This is a good base to build from. but they're not the most interesting thing to me because largely people had told me about Jetman for years. Like that's the thing people always mention about Jetman when they're just trying to get you to watch it is like the characters are so different and out there. Here, like Guy is this and that and the other thing in his relationship with Ryu, and that's all well and good. Nobody's ever told me the effects in the show are fucking amazing.
Great. They're like peak. I think this is the start of Heisei Sentai, because Heisei started in the 90s. Yeah, but they're like peak like 90s, like 80s effects.
Because here's the thing. My only like visual experience with Jetman has been watching the opening on YouTube, which by the way, fucking 10 out of 10 opening. And seeing their suits used in new Sentai projects. So I've only ever seen them doing like semi-okay green screen flying shots or fighting in the background or standing in the background. Nobody told... So, like, for the longest time, I assumed that, like, Jetman was all the flying was, like, bad 80s, 90s green screen. And yes, that is there. There's a few shots like that. But for the most part, it's in-camera wire work and optical effects, and it all looks great.
And the great thing is, that feeds back into the characters, because everyone has a distinct, like, I mean, just obvious for Sentai, but even more so for Jetman, everyone has distinct ways of punching and fighting, and you know, got Yellow Owl, who's a bit bigger than everyone else, so...
I love how, at least right now... Yellow and Pink are kind of clumsy. They're kind of relying on each other to keep their balance during fights. Fucking Guy is just fighting dirty and grabbing dudes by the balls. Ryu clearly has actual training and is good at fighting and knows how to use his weapons correctly and resourcefully. And then Akko, is she Blue Swallow?
Blue Swan? Maybe that's...
No, because it's Pink Swan, isn't it? It's Pink Swan and Blue Swallow.
Yeah.
Oh, she's white.
She's white.
Okay. Nobody's ever told me that she was a white ranger and not a pink ranger, because there's a lot of pink in her suit too.
A lot of white pink accents. Anyway.
But I love how Akko's method of flying is just, or method of fighting is just flying into dudes.
It's clearly playing into the jet athleticism of her character.
And I like her character in general too, because she's very playful and like trying to take advantage of people in that kind of Japanese teenage delinquent girl way that was very big at the time. And it works. All the characters work and gel together really well, but also like the Zords flying, or I'm sorry, the mecha flying around looks really good too. Like those are some really dated ass mecha designs. They are just boxes with wings and bird faces. But when they're flying in the show, 9 times out of 10, you believe it. Like, they really convey speed and aerodynamicism with them in a way that I wouldn't have thought possible just looking at them in a vacuum. So, like, I'm very impressed with Jetman effects-wise. I think the story and the characters have real promise. But whether or not all that plays out to me actually liking it at the end of the day, well, we got another 48 episodes to go.
Can I tell you, like, I'm not going to say any specific details, but I can tell you something about how kind of Jetman's character development works. Like,
if you're speaking structurally, sure.
So, like, Jetman is very subtle in the ways the character. So there's not like an outright, I am doing this. It's more like, it's like you'll subtly see characters, like, act in different ways. Yeah, that's just what I wanted to say. I like it a lot, and it just worked. Jetman, just like, I just love those characters a lot. Like, I will say that there's a romance triangle. You should expect it. You probably know it's a new way. That's not the.
Oh no, that's like the most famous thing about Jetman. So I'm just waiting for that to start up.
I'm not the biggest fan of that, but some other non-romance stuff that spawns from that triangle, I find really. I talked about in my video.
By the way, I should say, like, one of my favorite things about just immediately with Ryu and Guy's relationship, Ryu is like the idealistic, hopeful, and I love that they even cast like a babyface looking actor to play Ryu. He's like the idealistic, hopeful, perfect Red, being like, the world's in danger, nothing else should matter, we have to drop everything to save it. And Guy is the realist. He's like, why the fuck should I save the world? It's never done anything for me. People are fucking assholes who pollute and are racist towards each other. I'm not going to do that shit. And that is just immediately interesting within the context of freaking 90s Sentai.
Like, I love their dynamic. Like, I can't wait to see your reaction to how that.
Mhm.
Again, I don't want to say too much because I know you already know like how Jetman ends, but even then, that's kind of an ass pull. So it's not really. I mentioned again. I'm not sure if you watched my.
Yeah. And even then, I only found out that it was an ass pull like within the last 2 years.
Fair. Yeah, I think like my video shed a light. I don't want to keep like stroking my ego, but
No, I found out about that when we did the Zenkaiger Jetman episode, and people were talking about that on Twitter.
I mean, I kind of already said it was, but whatever. Yeah, and then like, cause I promised I would watch and review Zyuranger. That video is actually already out right now. If they want to go see it, go see it. So I'll just do like a little post-mortem on it. I'll admit it's probably the lowest Sentai I've watched so far.
Buster, you can say it. Zyuranger's fucking boring 90% of the time.
There's really great, like, there's a 10% that could have worked, especially in the ending arc and like some of the Barai stuff.
Mm-hmm. The ending arc is great. Barai as a character is great. Bandora and her bumbling Doonglebucks are fun.
That, like, maybe because of the MMPR stuff, I already know them from that. I like them a lot.
Mm-hmm. Do you like King Sphinx now that you've seen the King Sentai Sphinx, counterpart?
Like, I wish they would freaking like make more freaking have little riddle cards you could hold. That would be funny. Sorry for rushing. My laptop's actually low on battery. Yeah, so.
Oh geez. Do you have a charger near you?
I'm gonna try to rush this. I just like. I don't know. I really wanted to like the show. I really wanted to prove the naysayers wrong, but it's just. I mean, I don't think I hate the show as much as everyone else. It's just a show that exists. I'm sorry. Like
You rigged the vote of my Sentai poll just to say that.
I wanted to prove everyone wrong, but I gotta be truthful, man. I didn't really vibe with it, and I do appreciate those who vibe with it, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know people who really like Zyuranger, and more power to them, but it's I think it's an acquired taste.
And again,
honestly.
a lot of the concepts I just wish they were like iterated on, or just I think again this Zyuranger, as I mentioned in my video, Zyuranger was the start of like a new era of Sentai with that Dairanger and Kakuranger would capitalize and be like one of some of the most iconic shows in the series. But
I will say one minor criticism of your video. I wish you had talked about that a little more before just jumping right into Shout Factory information.
True, but like also I'm kind of saving that for like for the Dairanger and Kakuranger kind of like expanding like that, because I'm the idea of the video is like I'm covering Zyuranger, that's saved for Dairanger. So it's like, so like I'll talk about more of like expanding on whatever I get to Dairanger, which I'm not sure if that's gonna be my next one. But to find out what is my next one, because I'm running low, you can find me at the True Buster YouTube channel, and I cover a lot of things: tokusatsu, video games, cartoons, freaking JoJo soon, because I've been reading that a lot and I want to talk about it. So just go there and subscribe and shit. I'm also editing for VAC, and also you can find me on Tumblr and Twitter. On the links below. I'm also on Patreon and Ko-Fi. And hey, I just added a new feature to my Ko-Fi where you can request reviews. So take it away, Vac.
I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos. You can find them at youtube.com/thevacuuminator. I have an Ultraman Z video out. You should go watch that. I'm working on another thing that's going to come out in a couple weeks. Or Buster is. I've done all the work I have to do on it. But it'll be out soon. Also, follow me on Twitter at The Vacuuminator, on Tumblr at thevacuuminator.tumblr.com, on Instagram at _Vacuuminator, and don't forget to support Modular Media, like, comment, subscribe. That's it for this week in Tokusatsu, everybody. We'll see you back here next week for whatever happens that week in Tokusatsu.